Racing games on the MetaQuest platform have been far and few between, but there are actually a handful of awesome racing games you could play on the Quest 3 and the 3S, and today I'm going to talk about all of them. These are the best racing games on Quest. First up, let's dive right into my favorite, and that is Downtown Club. This is the, in my opinion, best racing game on the Quest 3 headset. This will put you into a vehicle and have you racing on racetracks against great AI opponents. It's got unlockables, new cars that you can unlock. The physics feel really good. It looks fantastic on Quest, and overall, it is the racing experience I've been waiting for a very long time on the Quest platform. If you're looking for a true VR racing experience that has a lot of options and it's going to continually be updated with more stuff with awesome developers, I would check out Downtown Club. To me, this is what I hoped Grid Legends would be. And we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Grid Legends didn't actually make my list of best racers, and we'll talk about why in a little while. But for now, Downtown Club, if you're looking for the best realistic racer on Quest, is the way that I would go. There's a link down in the description to that game as well as all of the games on this list as well. Next up, if you're a Mario Kart fan or just a kart racing fan, Dash Dash World is a lot of fun. It's seen a lot of updates. It hasn't been updated in a long time, but back when it first launched, to the last update, saw a ton of new content. Lots of tracks, racers. This is the type of game where you're going to jump into the game. You're going to be racing with one hand, essentially, and grabbing items with the other. Hitting people over the head with a frying pan or shooting something at them or throwing something so they slip and slide like a banana peel. It feels really good, and it's a lot of fun to play, and it looks pretty good on Quest as well. Like I said, it hasn't been updated in a while, so it doesn't have those Quest 3 graphical enhancements, but it is a fun multiplayer online racer, or you can play the single-player campaign mode and unlock unlockables and new karts, and overall, just a great kart racer if that is something that you want to play in VR. Next up is VRider SPK. Now, this is a little different than a lot of what's on this list. This is a very realistic, somewhat simulation type of racing game on a motorcycle. If you like motorcycle racing, like the high-speed, very competitive racing, then you'll like this game. It does take some getting used to. It's a little bit difficult, and I had some getting used to time on this, and it took me a little while. But overall, VRider SPK is a excellent game if you're looking for a motorcycle riding game. In fact, it's the only motorcycle riding game on this list because there are very few. And if you like riding on bikes, then you'll enjoy this game, I think. Very fast-paced. The AI can be very challenging, and there's online mode as well. Next up is something else kind of unique, and you'll notice a lot of unique aspects to the racers on this list because there's different types of racing. And this is Mini Motor Racing X. You can race in first person in this game, but this feels more like racing Hot Wheels cars or Micro Machines. And this is an official Micro Machines game, and that's not on the list as well. I'll just leave it at that. But the Mini Motor Racing X is an awesome racing game from like a third-person perspective or like a world-person perspective. You'll be racing cars like you're racing Micro Machines or Hot Wheels when you were a kid, racing them around tracks on dirt. On it's just, you're seeing it on screen anyways. Mini Motor Racing X is a great racer in this style. First person's okay, like down on the track is okay. It's not bad. It's fast-paced and it's fun. But ultimately, my favorite way to play this game is from that kind of God world perspective where you're racing around a track and staying in static in one spot. It is so much fun. It's really challenging. Unlockables. Overall, just a fantastic game by a great developer. If you're looking to get something for free and race in it to test out racing in VR to see how you feel about it, you can check out Rec Rally on Rec Room. The Rec Rally is rally racing, and there's a lot of actual worlds that you can play this in VR in Rec Room because people use that same mechanic to build their own worlds with, the racing and stuff. My personal favorite, though, to start off with is the Rec Rally location, like the traditional Rec Rally racing room that started it all. I had a lot of fun jumping in with Gamertag VR a long time ago. I did a video on it. I'll put a link to that video in the description as well if you want to check it out. It's just really fun. Obviously, the visuals are simplistic, and it's Rec Room, so there's a lot of kids in there, but you can create your own room if you've got friends you want to play with. But it's a great free racer if that's something that you want to try, just to see how your body kind of reacts to racing in VR. This next one is called Omega Pilot, and this is a kind of an out there racing game, more of a spaceship style racing game. Reminds me kind of something like Wipeout, kind of like that, futuristic, on the track, spaceship racing game, really fast-paced, crazy courses, crazy locations. It's a lot of fun. It makes me motion sick some, and I'm going to warn you about that. I didn't play a lot of this game. I really enjoyed what I played, but what I did play did make me somewhat motion sick back when I played it. It's been a long time since I've tried it, so maybe it wouldn't now. Just be cautious with this game if you're prone to motion sickness, in my opinion. That kind of goes with a lot of racing games, although Downtown Club, my favorite, didn't get me any motion sickness at all. I don't know if that's because of the way the car is positioned or it's made. But racing is something that's kind of unique in VR, and it can cause motion sickness. So my recommendation is if you've never done it or you're worried about motion sickness, to try out Rec Rally and see how you feel. It's free, and then you can go from there. But otherwise, Omega Pilot's a great spaceship racing game that's got a lot of tracks, a lot of unlockables, just like a lot of things on this list. Next is actually a game by the same developer as Downtown Club, NeoDori Infinite. And this goes back to the arcade-style racers, although it looks flat in this video. It doesn't look flat in VR. And it feels really good. It's got drifting. It's got point racing. I mean, it's just a lot of fun to play. It's like the Outrun kind of art style that you would see in an arcade-style cabinet, except for in VR, and it works really, really well. It's got great music, great art, overall fantastic game. Again, links to all these in the descriptions if you want to check them out. Highly recommend NeoDori Infinite. Such a fun game to play. Now, last of the official games on this list is Trackcraft. This is something different as well. This is a mixed reality game. You can actually craft your own courses and share them and play them with other people's courses that they've made. This is a mixed reality racing game, which is so much fun. There's so many cool things you can do with this, and they've added so much to this game over the course of the time that it's been available. Started off in early access, really early access, and now I think it's had its official launch on the Quest Store, I'm pretty sure, and it's just so cool to make a track around your room, which is great for Quest 3 and 3S and the mixed reality that it brings, to just be able to create this entire course around your room and then race it, with someone else or by yourself. I'll leave it at that. It's cool to add set pieces, things that go inside of your wall and then out into the floor and up all around your room. It's really cool. I highly recommend Trackcraft if you're interested in mixed reality racing. It's the best mixed reality racing, in my opinion, on Quest, and it's just one of those kind of unique experiences that you kind of have to try to really understand how awesome it is. Now, like I said, I'm going to mention Grid Legends here. And the reason I didn't put it on this list isn't necessarily because of the visuals, although that has to do with it. It didn't have great visuals when it came out. Yes, you can bump up the resolution and all that stuff. The reason I didn't put it on this is I just felt it was like a lazy port. It's been dropped and never really updated. Yes, it had the full campaign, so if you like the Grid Legends game, then you'll probably like the campaign in this game. But the racing didn't feel great for me. I didn't enjoy how the racing was done and how it felt. Now, this is my personal opinion. A lot of people did actually enjoy it, even though it doesn't have great ratings. There were people that said it was highly underrated. In my opinion, I wouldn't go near that if you wanted to do Downtown Club. Downtown Club far exceeds that, in my opinion, in every way, except for the fact that, Grid Legends has a longer story campaign to it, and it's an in-depth campaign. I'll put a link to that in the description just so you can read some of the reviews. If you want to grab it, you can, but Grid Legends, it's not something that I personally recommend to play if you want a VR racer, just because it's not my favorite thing. I would go with Downtown Club, even though it's not as, feature-packed as far as, like, a story. But Grid Legends, there's a link in the description. Read the reviews and listen to the reviews and kind of form your own opinion. That is what I think of it. But those are the best racers on the Quest for Quest 3, Quest 3S. Let me know what you think down in the description. If I missed any, let people know that as well so that they can check them out, because maybe I've missed something. Again, links for everything in the description for you to check out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, as I'll be doing list videos all the way until Christmas with the best games in every genre. Thank you so much for watching, and happy questing.